I have to hit that got it, right?
Hello, hello. Welcome. We've got to let a lot of people in today, so it'll take us a little bit. And still got more joining.
Marianne,
Hi.
I have
Yes.
a very quick question. Do you teach at Hohokus Yoga?
I do.
Okay, we've met. That's
How fun.
That's
okay.
wonderful.
That's what I thought.
Well, I'm so happy you're here.
I haven't been.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. We've still got some joining, but we're going to get started a little bit. We have a little bit of a different, I don't know, presentation today, which is kind of fun. So I get to learn a lot too. I'm Suzanne Nielsen, but today I'm just introducing Marianne Gebhardt today, and she is going to teach us a little bit about some yoga and some helpful things for, I guess, all different, knitting, but it sounds like it's really transfers to a lot of other things too. Well, just some background things too. She's wearing a beautiful shawl that we'll get to talk about a little bit later. And this is the 52nd Tutorial Tuesday. So welcome, welcome. And we're going to be posting links in the chat to our other Tutorial Tuesdays that you can sign up for. You can also look at the recordings from all of those past tutorials. And there's the links. I do get to give out a gift certificate tonight too, so stick around for that. I'm going to be asking a question later on. And I think that's all of the things I need to cover right now. So we thank Zen Yarn Garden for sponsoring this fun event, and I will let Marianne take it away. Oh, also, sorry, before I turn it over, if you have questions, please put them in the chat, and I will be keeping an eye on that and helping there. But let's turn it over to Marianne. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. So I'm so happy to be here. And just a very short little bit about me. I started yoga in my 20s, and I began knitting in my early 7 or 10 years old. So I feel like it's such a nice combination to use the movement of yoga before we knit, as we relax, as we soften. So if you have questions, we'll ask them in the chat, like Suzanne said, and we'll get to them at the end, or we can always send an email. So most of the class is going to be done in the chair, and just a few things about the chair. My chair is a pretty good height, but you don't need to move. Just know that when you do sit in a chair, you can put something like a pillow underneath your feet, just so your knees are higher or in line with your hips. I'm going to show you sideways just to see. Now just imagine that if my seat was higher and my knees were lower, that could start to feel a little achy. I'm sure when we knit, if you're like me, you can't stop knitting row after row or crochet. So a lot of times that little tenderness can be. So looking for something to put under your feet, maybe not now, but next time you pick up your knitting. That's one thing. These are known as yoga blocks, and sometimes you can get them at Marshall's and different places. So if you don't have a pillow, something kind of solid there. So I just wanted to show you the yoga blocks. I'm going to put it to the side, or a pillow, or even a book, something where you can feel the feet really relax. Now I also have, because I know that we knit on the couch for sure, but if you have your couch where you feel like this part of your back, this part, this lumbar spine, is the place behind the navel that has a curve. So if you have where you're arched like this and then you're going to come over, these are all ways we all knit. I like this type of pillow that you could sort of nestle there underneath and behind you, and you can see it, it's at my lumbar spine. So again, these are things to think about when you do sit down to knit. When you sit down to knit, the place where your feet, your sit bones, and your back is very important. So that's just a little bit to remember. And now, when you knit or crochet, and here in this area can get a little tight. And very often you might even naturally rub your palms together. So that's how we're going to begin. We're going to rub the palms together. And if we're going to put on hand cream, begin to move your hands like you almost want that hand cream to get everywhere. So I like to even squeeze through my fingers, and even if you will, after you do a row, or if you're crocheting and you have a good point to put it down for a moment, it pays to really pay attention. This is your greatest tool. Your body is your greatest tool. So let's talk about that tool. You can do this in between and every once in a while. Now let's interlace the fingers. As you interlace the fingers, if you're doing this on a table, you can even put your elbows to relax, because your elbows want to release down. So even if our arms are up, we'll feel it in the shoulders. So let's just move through making a circle. Now, if you have something that's tight today, your shoulders, your elbows, just putting down your knitting and listening is just as good. It's very effective. But let's begin to move. And I mentioned the elbows and how it relates to the shoulders. So let's take our time as we move the wrists, the fingers. Notice how the shoulders, how are they feeling? And then from here, let's notice our breath, right? Breathe deep into the body. At the end of our session today on this Tutorial Tuesday, I'm going to invite you to relax with your eyes closed, and we're going to talk a little bit about relaxation as well. Now bring your hands towards me or away from the chest, and my elbows are a little bit bent because we don't want to extend and lock any joints. So my elbows are a little bit bent, and just notice how this feels in the wrist, and then let that go. Take one hand, don't worry, we're going to do both sides. My elbow is bent, very important. Take that hand, the opposite hand, and let's just feel this extension in through the bottom of the wrist. Do it slowly, because we don't need to rush. And one thing we know is doing this in between our stitches. If you have a complicated pattern, put it down, take a breath, and really lengthen and bring a little bit of stretch into the hand. And then let's do the other one. Let's feel the other hand. Let's notice how this feels in this area of the wrist. Notice how it feels. And this is an opportunity to check in again with the elbow and the shoulder. And you know, all of us, our minds get busy. It's okay. Then we're going to rub the palms again. And as we rub the palms, as simple as this is, I invite you to look at your hands with such gratitude. These hands are moving so quickly. Very often when we crochet and knit without any direction, it's just going. Now we're going to take the hand very slowly, and this is flexion. We're going to begin to bring that just a little bit. So for me, I feel it in the top of the wrist. So I'm not doing it very much or very hard. I'm just exploring how it feels. And then do the other. Just, it's an exploration, right? You're noticing, wait, it's a little tense, and we're moving. So it's a nice way to release tension. Now, when you come back, see how it feels to open up your arms. See, my elbows are still bent, my shoulders are back and down, and my thumbs are towards the ceiling. And now with an exhale, wrap your arms around you the best you can. Now, if you have shoulder tension or something that's not comfortable, you can hold your elbows. The most important is to listen to your body. But in this embrace, in yoga, this is called eagle. So when you wrap your arms around you, let's take a moment to tuck the chin, feel the back of your neck, and open and close your mouth. And receive a beautiful inhale. And whenever you're ready, bring your head back so the chin is parallel to the floor or your chair. And with an inhale, let's open it again with the elbows bent, and notice that your shoulder blades right here at the back behind the sternum, they glide together. And again, let's come to eagle. Give yourself this wonderful lymphatic massage, lots of lymph nodes up here, and give yourself a squeeze. And this time when you tuck your chin, just say to yourself, I have everything I need. I love weaving yoga into it. Now, I don't know about you, but as I tuck my chin, I'm feeling ease in through those back of the shoulder blades. In fact, it moved all the way down my back. See how you feel it. We're going to do one on each side. So inhale, and when you inhale, open your chest. Open that area of the heart as you lift your chin. And then crisscross, remembering which arm is on top. Here's the exhale, and tuck your chin. And one more time. Inhale and open. We're going to pause here. Turn the palms up. You feel that difference. Say to yourself, my life is filled with abundance, right? Such gratitude. Now we're going to crisscross the opposite. See how that feels. Let the chin tuck and give a squeeze with a loving embrace. And now with an inhale, let's open our arms again. And now letting the right hand come in front and bend that elbow. Take your left arm, bring it underneath. So some of us will want to just bring our left hand here. If you feel comfortable, then we're going to take this right hand over to the left. Just feel it. So I'm going to show right in through this upper arm, upper shoulder, a beautiful stretch. Make sure you're feeling that you're really listening to your body, and then now open. So there's different ways we can do that. Again, now the right hand can hold the left elbow, and I'll demonstrate it this way. And notice as you move over to this right, you're going to feel this right side of your body. Good. And then inhale and open. Now this time, we're going to inhale the arms up. Now, if you have a shoulder, anything that's going on, and here's your up, that's perfect. You can't see my hands, but interlace your fingers and get a side stretch. Let your breath bring you there. So you feel this whole right side. This is a corset. This is what holds the core. It's so nice to lengthen there. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your breath bring you there. Let your breath let you glide over. And now slowly, as you lower your hands, whether you're on the couch or a chair, bring your hands behind you. So my chair has a little bit of something for me to hold, but if you'd like, bring your hands behind you. So you see that we're opening here through this area of the chest, because when we knit crochet on our computer, even when we cook and read, we're sort of rounded. And I know I am when I'm on my phone. So here, we're going to bring the hands behind the chair. You're going to feel that little bit of a space in the front of the body, and then begin to lift your chin as you feel this length. Sometimes I say stretch, but think of it as a length as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Now we're going to keep our hands there, and let's round the spine and tuck the chin. Let's just give ourselves this opportunity. And one more. So any one of these that you remember, any one will help us release tension from repetitive movement, or if we're tense. And let's do it again. Let's round the spine, tuck the chin. And when we do, feel how much of that really brings length to the back of the body. And now let go of the back of the couch or the chair and inhale your arms up. Just reach up, elbows bend, doesn't matter how high, and then lower with an exhale. So now when we take our time, we're going to inhale, bring breath, some space under the ribs. You can do this any time of day where you feel like you just need to connect with your breath. One more. Inhale. Lift your spirit. Good. And exhale, release tension, release anything that doesn't serve you. So now this time, when you inhale, reach up. We're going to take this left hand and bring it by the right rib. Sometimes we can bring it to the side, but I'd rather bring it to this rib because then we're not pushing, we're not forcing, and you can feel this wonderful. These are a little bit where the diaphragm is and where we breathe deep. And then now let's switch it. Even if you did this in the morning as you welcome your day, exploring your neck and shoulders. And then now come back up, taking your palms, bring them together, and let's just move. Move and feel the wrists. And then now from here, let go of your hands and really move them. I know this seems really simple, but during the holidays, I was doing a little bit of mosaic knitting on larger needles with very thick yarn, and it was a knit 3 together, so my fingers were tender, and I wanted to get those hats done for gifts. But I kept doing this, and it really helped, really, really, really helped. Take your thumb and bring it to the inside. In fact, glide your hand along the wrist, and right at the center, you're going to feel a little slight indentation. And also here, so there's 3 bones in the wrist, and we're going to don't shake it hard. I think everything in yoga that I do is very gentle and very restorative. And so if you were to do this after a row, and you feel, oh, that helps release, we're going to glide the thumb that's at this wrist right to this meaty part of the thumb. And I don't know about you, but I knit so much that sometimes I'll feel this or crochet and just imagine making a circle to help release. And then let's bring it to the other side. And so in yoga, the belief is if we have an ache somewhere, right, like a little ache, and we naturally bring our hand to rub it, it helps move that block or that energy, or it, in fact, brings us to that place of awareness. So again, we're taking our time, feeling the wrist, and then take your thumb. And you see this part? I know that if we circle around, we can even squeeze it and give a nice massage there. Nice massage. And then you can certainly stay. I want to do something for our lower body, but you can certainly stay in your chair. And if you do, this is how you're going to do it in a chair. You're just going to move in the spine, and you're just going to feel like your sit bones bring you anchoring, and then there's movement. And this helps bring energy down. But if you want to, you can come to stand really quickly. You can let your chair be there, and now let your hands come to your hips, and now make a circle here. I like to hold the top of my femur here, because then when I notice my knees are soft but strong, my ankles, right, and my feet are rooted and grounded. This is also nice if you're working at your desk. If you're knitting for a long time, it gets us to get up and get that circulation and that movement, and then reverse the circle. And before we sit down again, let's just move the hips slowly, and then relax the hands and make a circle with the hands. Simple, these simple movements, so healing. And then now, let's take the hands up to shoulder height. Wrap your hands, just like we did seated, and tuck. Now the stretch, the length is right here. And let's open it up. And when you open it up, I know we're in our own homes, so why not just let a smile come over your face and feel a lift of your spirit, and then crisscross the other way and slowly tuck your chin. Get a nice tuck. And then now, whenever you're ready, uncross, come back to your chair just for another moment. Come back to your chair. And even when you sit down, you can roll through big toe to little toe. You could do this standing as well. But what I want to do is just get a little movement into the ankles. I know we primarily in our knitting and our crocheting, we use our hands, our shoulders, but let's think about the other part of our body and then just reverse it. And then flick your fingers, flick. Go from the pinky, ring, middle, and just flick. Good. And then now, whenever you're ready, just sit back in your chair. I'm going to bring the meditation shawl just to your awareness. So this is Zen Garden yarn. Suzanne's going to talk about it a little bit. This is a very simple pattern. And you know, if you see me in yoga, I always have a shawl on. This is a very simple all knit. So it is a garter stitch. It starts in the beginning, and they do have plenty of patterns, and they have the patterns. I put tassels on it because the tassels give it weight. And so the weight allows it to have a drape and go. A drape and go is my favorite type of garment. And the other part of it, because it's like this, you can hold it and wrap it and drape and go. I love how the tassels give it some weight. So see, and when you knit something that is complicated, and we're following a chart like a brioche or all those cabling things, that's very good for the brain, and it's very good. That's a form of meditation. When you knit something where it's one stitch and then another stitch, it's like your thoughts, one stitch, one thought. And so take your time to let your knitting, your crochet, be like a meditation. So at the end of this session today, I'm going to change my camera just a little bit. So I'm going to invite relaxation. One thing about when we feel discomfort in our body through repetitive movements, paying attention, giving our body attention is key. One of the greatest gifts for sleep, for everything, is relaxation. And knitting is relaxation, but we're going to add a little bit more tonight. So, Suzanne, would you like to talk a little bit about
Yes.
lovely yarn?
Yes, so this is a new yarn. It's not a new yarn, I guess, but we're doing the Serenity glitter. So it's hard to see on the camera, but this yarn actually has a glitter in it, and it is one of the gradient cakes. So it's a really just a beautiful one for this project because the color flows and the color changes very meditatively, and with this beautiful simple pattern, it would just be a great one to just pick up and have some really relaxing knitting time where you can just kind of let your mind wander and do other things. So yeah, I think it's just, she showed it off beautifully here. And we have put links in the chat to the pattern and then also to the glitter blanks. And those are 20% off right now for this demo today. So we can take a look at those. Let's see if I can share my screen and take a look at these. They are similar to the other Luxe blanks that we have, but this is the superfine glitter. So it is a sock weight. And let me see here. Sorry, trying to get this linked. I'm not as good as Laura is at this. I'm gonna try and share my screen, but we do have the links in the chat. And let me see here. It is not letting me show. There we go. Right. So here we have the glitter cakes, and we have lots of beautiful colors to take a look at here. Yeah, so take a look, see what inspires you, and remember that they are 10% off today. And let's see, I think I'll go ahead and give away.
Suzanne.
Pardon me?
I can't
Oh,
see
you can't see
anything.
it. Oh, let's see.
Might be also in the chat.
I can't see it either. Can't see that either.
I think
Nothing
they're
there.
in the chat as well. They are in the chat though, Suzanne.
Yeah, they are there.
Ah,
There you go. I see it.
Yep.
yes, yes.
All right, now we can see them.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just beautiful colors here, and perfect for that shawl pattern. So those, and I will get back to Marianne here. Sorry, am I still sharing all this? Probably not. And
Yeah.
all right. There we go.
Part of our session on Tutorial Tuesday today. What I would love you to do is sometimes knitting is a way of movement and it sort of allows for relaxation. So if you have your knitting and you prefer that is your best way to relax. However, if you want to close your eyes, lean back on your couch or your chair, and even if you wanted to put a little shawl over your shoulders, or because relaxation, as we know, it helps our nervous system, it helps everything. It helps our digestion, it helps us sleep better. There's a lot of science behind it, but beyond all the words that we can say about it, I'm going to guide you through the body. It's very quick, and it's amazing to notice there'll be a slight difference on how you feel. And these are Tibetan singing bowls, and if you want to just hear how they sound, they're so sweet. One bowl and then another bowl is slightly different in tone, just like our breath, just like our thoughts. So I'm going to play them very gently as we come to relaxation. So let's begin by bringing these beautiful hands that do our knitting and our crocheting. In fact, one more thing, it's from the heart. When we knit, we crochet, it's connected to, in the yoga tradition, the heart center. So as you bring your hands to the upper lobes of your lungs, so to get yourself comfortable, and as your hands rest at the upper part of your chest, the upper lobes of the lungs here, notice how you feel. Just your hands here. And say to yourself as you close your eyes, at this moment, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to make happen. We're going to lift the hands and bring them to the lower lobes of the lungs. This is the bottom of the lungs, the base of the ribs. And I always notice when I put my hands right here, it encourages a lengthening in the spine, an elongation in the spine. Even if you chose to lay down, you can do this before you go to bed, in fact, in your bed. And as you relax these muscles, this is the diaphragm. We hear a lot about the chest diaphragm through the breath. So today, as you breathe in, feel this slight, no force, go slow. Full breath is a full life. Breathing in the words I am. And with a beautiful exhale, softening in your jaw, say the word home. That's what this is. It's coming home to sensation, thoughts, breath, not pushing anything away. And then bring both palms to the lower part of your belly. Now, when we're stressed, and adrenaline is this area of our body called the pelvic diaphragm, is a little tight, as well as the chest and even our throat. But let's notice, with a gentle full breath, how we feel. Let's take the time to leave one hand at the abdominal navel area and the other hand at the heart chest. Become aware of this beautiful breath in your body. Your breath, it calms you. It centers you. It brings you to the present moment. And so we can remind ourselves at any time, just with a beautiful full breath, I have everything I need. As you bring your hands now one on top of the other at the heart center, this is where we're going to keep the hands for just a breath or two. As you close your eyes or you look at your knitting, notice the muscles behind your eyes. The muscles behind the eyes, as they become a little bit more relaxed. The gift of that, they relax the temples. They relax the jaw. And when the muscles in the face are more relaxed, we can even let a gentle smile come over our face, and we feel a lift as we move this smile, lift the heart. It relaxes the back of the neck and the back of our throat. Very slowly, with your hands still at your heart, let the tip of your tongue move to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth just for a moment, and notice how it relaxes the jaw. As we relax the jaw is the only joint in our whole head. We have lots of bones, it's the only joint. And as we relax the jaw, we relax other bones, the shoulders, and with your hands at your heart still, just ask yourself, what nourishes me? I know it seems like a question maybe we don't always ask ourselves. It's not selfish. What nourishes me? I like to rephrase it and just say, what brings me contentment? And then let your hands rest on your lap. Just let your hands rest on your lap. Sort of wiggle through your shoulders. Release all expectations. There's no wrong way. You're perfect where you are. And when your palms face up tonight, just imagine as these hands are in stillness, perhaps even letting your knitting rest in your lap. There's a rhythm to our crochet and our knitting. And that rhythm, that continuous movement in our hands, and now we ask them to rest with gratitude. Allowing your palms to come together. Let your thumbs rest right at the center or anywhere at the sternum. Again, there's no wrong way. If you don't want to use your thumb, you can just use your fingers, but we're going to make a nice circle. And as you make the circle, probably naturally you've tucked your chin a little bit, maybe. And if you tuck your chin, this in itself brings an inward awareness. And this inward awareness already turns on that relaxation response. As we make a circle at the thumbs, at the sternum, pause there. And as we know, a spinning top, when it moves very quickly, at the center there's stillness. Finding that place of stillness. And then now, slowly, if you will, you can keep your eyes closed and keep your awareness inward. Let's wrap the arms around. This wrapping the arms around gives a nice little squeeze under the arm, in through the chest, and then now slowly tuck your chin. Bring a little length to the back of your neck. And I encourage you to inhale with the arms open. Inhale, keep your elbows bent and let your shoulders move back and down. Lower your hands just to the side of your chair, side of your couch. Let your hands rest, fingers touch wherever they are, if it's not your whole hand. And then now let's tuck our chin, noticing a little bit more length in the back of the neck as we tuck our chin. And then with an inhale, bring your arms to shoulder height. Good. Last thing we're going to do is wrap the arms. Give yourself this gorgeous exhale and this loving, loving, loving squeeze, squeeze. And then now, as you open your eyes, just let yourself lean back. You can rub your palms together again and just notice that slight difference that you feel from a few minutes of relaxation. And again, I'm so happy you joined us tonight, and yoga for knitting and crocheting is my passion, and I wish you happy knitting and I wish you joy. And if you have any questions, you can always bring it to the chat, and Suzanne can let me know, and so can anyone else from Zen Garden.
Oh, thank you so much. That was just really nice and relaxing, and good to remember to keep relaxing while we're knitting and enjoy it for those qualities. We do have a question. First, I'm going to give away the gift certificate. So we have a $25 gift certificate up for grabs. And I'm going to open your chats. I'm going to take the third answer, I think, the third correct answer. And how many tassels does the meditation shawl have on it? Oh, you guys are fast. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm going to take the third person. You can send your, let's see. All right. So Catherine Pate, you are the winner. So go ahead and send your email address to Zen Yarn Garden in the chat. You don't have to send it to everybody, just to Zen Yarn Garden, and we will get your gift certificate. You can use it on top of the 20%. And remember, everyone has 20% off on our glitter cakes today. And gosh, that was just really great. I did see a hand up. Did we have a question? Or was that just a clapping? Maybe we had so many things. This was really just a great tutorial, I think, that we all got a lot out of. So thank you so much for joining us, Marianne. And are there if there's any questions, we can take those, but otherwise, remember that this is recorded along with all of our other recordings from Zen Yarn Garden. And we'll sign off. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for teaching us all of that, Marianne.